God's peace be with you. Christians, if they are to be authentic Christians, are to live out the commandments of God. Tragically, many today no longer live out God's commandments. And this is basically due to their own choices in life, but this is also due to wrong teaching they may have received. They are supposed to be taught and guided and formed by the pastors in the church, but oftentimes they are not. As such, pastors and teachers bear a great responsibility with regards to the flock's faith or lack of it. Jesus said in Matthew 5 verse 19 that whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. That is a dire warning. We must obey the commandments of God. But even worse, what are being broken today are not the least of the commandments, but even the most basic. For those who do so, they will not even be called least in the kingdom, but will not be a part of it at all. And again, those who teach or fail to teach bear a greater responsibility and will suffer a more severe judgment. So many pastors fail in teaching, but the situation is actually worse. With today's modernism in the church, some pastors and teachers actually end up teaching others to break God's commandments. How? When they do not openly denounce those who are pro-abortion and even give them Holy Communion. Now, abortion is one of today's most egregious sins, but there are many Christians who approve or condone abortion. When church pastors do not tell them how wrong abortion is, then people are being effectively told that such a stance is acceptable. And when Catholics are given Holy Communion, then they are affirmed in their sin. What else? When pastors do not condemn same-sex unions and even give a public blessing to such unions. Same-sex unions are gravely sinful. But there are many Christians who are into same-sex relationships. When church pastors do not tell them this is wrong, then they simply continue in their sin. And worse, there are those pastors who bless such unions. As such, evil is being blessed, and those in such unions continue in their sinful situation. What else? When pastors tell a gay person that he is born that way or that God wills his being such. The truth is, no one is born gay. Becoming gay is a social construct, and gay relationships are sinful. It certainly is not the will of God. But when pastors affirm they're being gay, then there is no reason for them to change. Then they remain in their sin. What else? When pastors just accept, accompany, and embrace those in grave sin, but do not speak to them of their sin, because it is offensive and hurtful. As such, sinners are not taught that what they are doing is sinful. And worse, because they are accepted, they are affirmed in their sin. Thus they remain in their sin. There is rot in our church today because many Catholics remain in unrepented sin. But the greater sin is on those pastors who should be guiding such Catholics, but in effect, by wrong teaching, affirm them in their sin. These modern-day scribes and Pharisees, as Jesus says in Matthew 5 verse 20, will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Tragically, they also prevent others from entering into the kingdom of heaven. God bless you.